right, guys, here we are. The map is, as I said, Daybreak, and at the top right part of it, in the blue, representing Team Liquid, is a replacement for the amazingly well-playing Sheth. It is none other than Liquid HayprO. And in the bottom left, winning a very, very good game on Ohana. Very cool TVZ. If you're just joining us now, definitely watch the VODs when those are up in a day or two. It is going to be none other than mouz.MorroW.
I wanted to touch on something we were talking about a little before. You know, like Hasselhoffs and Mana are kind of specialized in their matchups. You know, Hasselhoffs is pretty good overall, but, you know, Mana really has one specialty. MorroW is the guy that's going to have to step up in order to make, you know, keep mouz at that top level team if they want to be there. You know, Biggs is improving a lot too, but MorroW is going to have to be their ace, I feel. Yeah,
by saying MorroW is their ace too, you know, I mean, we're not taking anything away from the other players that are still on mouz. I mean, I really, really like mouz overall as a team, but just in terms of what you said, you know, looking at someone who can play each matchup really well, really creatively, I think MorroW is definitely going to be their go-to guy for that.
Proxy.
Yeah, a little bit of a forward barracks. This probably isn't going to end up being a double barracks or anything like that. This is just going to kind of confuse HayprO. This is the idea behind it. He's going to come in and scout and be like, oh no, where's the barracks?
He's going to think it's double racks proxy, but it's just going to be the one.
Potentially, yeah. Bigger issue is that he just won't know. And look at this. Oh, gas going down for MorroW. Okay, so this is actually a little bit confusing to me, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're going to be doing this, if you're going to be walling off with a supply depot, factory supply depot, and then going reactor to Hellions after that at the normal time, you know, why not build the barracks right here or something like that, right?
Yeah, because this is also the standard Overlord scout pattern.
That's why he built the barracks there. He's going to do that to kill the Overlord. HayprO sees he's like, no! But I don't think there's any escape for that Overlord. It's going to be a little bit dangerous. Yep. But, yeah, so MorroW, you know, he had a couple options. He built this here to kill the Overlord, obviously. Some Terran players we see build it around here so that they could put a little bit of bunker pressure on while they get their factory at the choke. But in this case... and he's actually just going to move it back. Yeah, he's like,
well, he looks like he might actually get it regardless.
We'll have to see. This Overlord, he's making a run for it. Oh, HayprO not turning around in time. This Overlord is most certainly dead unless the speed will be just enough.
If this goes down, that's actually really going to hurt HayprO's build order because he's not going to be able to drone up.
It will. Oh, the Overlord getting away. Maybe he's trying to get to this one area. Oh, man, he barely gets away. That Overlord, so lucky.
I can't wait to just see a scan to try to get
I know, yeah, seriously. It's like, I don't even want that mule. I just want that Overlord dead. Well, back at home, we've got the reactor on the way. A pretty normal opening from here on out. It's going to be reactor to Hellions. We did have the hatch first from HayprO, and first 2 queens are on the way. Since we don't have a gas yet for speed, I've got a feeling it's going to be that 4-queen build, which has just become a really, really popular standard opening in ZVT. I love that build, man. And it's really good.
It's good for holding this stuff off. You know, it wouldn't be as good as holding the mech that Hero Marine did, but it is really good for holding this standard Hellion.
Well, there's kind of 2 ways that Zergs are approaching the standard Terran opening right now. Because the standard Terran opening is what we see here. It's the reactor and Hellion opening, right? You get about 2 Marines and you have a couple Hellions up. Now, Zergs have decided to respond to this in 2 ways. One of the ways is what we're seeing HayprO do, getting 4 queens really early on before gas. You can stay very defensive. You can spread your creep very quickly. You're never at a loss for energy to inject larva as well. The other option, what we see players like Zenek's Life doing and some other Zerg players in Korea, is to still go for a Zergling speed relatively quickly, get a 3rd queen for creep spread, and then attack with about 30-ish speedlings at a time when Terran only has those first 2 Hellions and 2 Marines, because you can potentially do a lot of damage. A lot of Terran players taking risks like this, building their command centers on the low ground with that speedling attack opening that Zergs do. You can really, really shut this down hard. So,
if HayprO came in with Lings now, he would kill all the SCVs with the natural, and there'd be nothing MorroW could do about it.
Yeah, exactly. But he has gone for that that double queen opening, so he will be playing this a little bit more defensively. You can see the 3 queens chilling out at the front, getting that really huge fast creep spread going. It's going to help him take a quick 3rd as well. But yeah, I mean, so Zerg players right now are kind of on the fence about, you know, what they like more. It's not really a matter of what's better. It's more of a matter of your personal preference.
I gotta say, I love this style. I love getting the queens, getting a creep spread, and the hatchery and the base for Lings. You know it's going to be Lings. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple Evo chambers drop at this point too, since he's going to stay on 2 base. But he has enough queens that he's actually safe from, you know, he's safe from Banshees, safe from safe from Hellions as well. looks like MorroW is going to go into stim with medevacs really quickly.
Yep, pretty common right now for a follow-up in TVZ. You go up to 3 or 4 barracks and then go ahead and get stim. A couple medevacs out.
Ooh, HayprO
looks like
has seen everything.
Yeah, you will see actually absolutely everything.
Very nice guy by HayprO. So now HayprO is feeling really good. He's like, well, I'm not really worried about any of that right now. Just got to make some units when he comes in with the push timing.
Yep, pretty much.
But his creep is spread so far, he'll see it coming a mile away at this point.
I know. Loses a creep to me there, but it doesn't matter. He's got 1 million to spare. And there's that third base very, very quickly for HayprO as well.
And
so.
as we were talking about before, there's the double evolution chamber as well for the ruling upgrade. So yeah, he is super safe at this point. He's safe from just about everything.
Yeah. Now, it's really interesting to see what MorroW's doing this game. Whereas last game, his opening was very different. It was meant to kind of throw Chef off. This time, he's playing the most standard TVZ style right now that's out there, right? He's going to even do a little bit of a drop with this, I guess. Now, what Terrans will follow this up with is generally a lot of like a second factory, usually, and double siege tank production to catch up. But
this is interesting. Lifting off barracks to put on a reactor for more Marines.
Yep, so he's going to make some more Marines. I think we're going to see him build a second reactor here. He may decide to go for a Viking first to kind of clear out overlords, but we'll see. Probably going to see a tech lab on this factory fairly soon as well. Yep, just getting that one Viking, clear out overlords, and then probably a reactor for more.
This is an interesting little push here, because HayprO, he does have Blings building, but I don't think he's going to hold his third.
Yeah, it's a good timing for MorroW. Just when I was saying he's playing standard, going for something a little bit non-standard here.
Very nice timing, gets the third, and he's just going to be careful, do the damage he can with the creep chomers, and lift and get out. Not really in danger of losing this unless he's careless with his army.
Well, this is so cool. I mean, because we're seeing MorroW play from the perspective of a Zerg player as Terran. You know, he's like, all right, I know exactly how I can kind of modify the regular stuff that Terrans are doing specifically to beat a lot of common Zerg things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, MorroW just a master of the matchup from both sides. It makes him very, very difficult to
And
beat.
just as it did last game, pretty quick third after taking out the Zerg third, and then he gets on that even base footing with the Zerg player. It's so smart. He's playing this game really well as well.
Yeah. HayprO doing the right thing, though, putting some Zerglings in position to look at where the 4th base would be. Running in, seeing that there's really nothing there. And the Overlord will finally
I wanted that Overlord, man.
I had to build a plane. That's actually the Marine that was trying to kill it earlier. He's actually in that Viking. He built that plane himself so that he could go and kill the Overlord. Little known fact there.
So it looks like MorroW chased off the Lings.
Yeah, he did. There they are. The rest of them left over.
So you'd say probably MorroW's going to sit, wait till these 1-1 upgrades finish, and then go in with a Marine tank army to try to take down the third again? What it seems like.
Yeah, usually that's what you would do. I mean, he's getting 1-1 right now, so we're going to see him play a little bit defensive, probably about until when we saw 2-2 last game. So, you know, while there are some similarities to what he's doing this game as opposed to last game, there's also a lot of little tiny differences that are quite cool. Oh, man, this Viking has killed a lot of Overlords already. 2, in fact. Okay, so maybe that's not a lot. I thought he'd maybe killed another one down here, but
no, he got 2. It's pretty
2's
good,
a lot. And if you're comparing it to numbers like 1 and 0, of course. In fact, then it's even twice as many. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. We'll roll with that, right? A little bit of a speedling attack at the third base here. MorroW's gonna have to pull his SCVs, but shouldn't be too much of a problem to clean this up.
Looks like he's about to drop the main.
Yes, he is. There it is. And he does see the lair on the way as well. He's lucky he can get a queen kill or 2.
Oh, but he's got good positioning. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
All of those Lings. Oh, here's the Banelings, though.
Wow, MorroW just with great response, picking that up in time.
14 hit points on that medevac.
Yeah, you know what? Queens do 9 damage with their air attacks, so he was pretty close to dying, yeah.
MorroW, again, he's playing so good this game.
Yeah, again, MorroW is just one of those players, too, where, I mean, a lot of people have talked about him. They're like, you know, at some point, this kid is just going to suddenly become phenomenal and just beat everyone. So we'll see. I don't know if that time is now, but I've got a feeling he's going to be, you know, a champ in the future here. We'll have to see. I mean, he did win one of the very earliest StarCraft 2 tournaments out there. He won IGNProLeague, you know, way back in the day against Hydra.
Yep.
He won that series so hard that it got a unit nerfed, in fact.
He actually has taken up really good position against this 4th right now.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good spot.
So, I mean, HayprO is set up for flanking, but he's going to have to be really careful on how he engages that. Getting his 4th at the same time, too. Getting the armory for 2-2 upgrades. He is going to have to put a little bit more pressure on HayprO, though, because, last game he was dropping all over the place while he was doing these pushes. Right now, he had that one drop that did good damage. Right now, he's not really dropping, and HayprO is getting a little bit out of control. Ultralisk Cavern on the way.
It's a very quick Ultra Cavern as well. 14 minutes. Here comes a big attack from HayprO trying to kill this army. Will he be able to get it, though? Looks like he will. No problem.
But the second round of Marines came in.
Yeah, Marines coming in. I think they killed like one Infestor or something like that, but still not quite enough. MorroW needs to make a run for it, especially with the Banelings added in there. I mean, here's kind of the big difference between what HayprO's doing right now and what Sheth is doing last game. Sheth relying a lot on Roach Infestor or Roachlings and then Infestors later on, but MorroW having to deal with Ling Baneling, which is very, very scary.
A little bit stronger against Marines, I would say, than what Sheth is doing.
Well, MorroW trying to take his 4th base.
And building a 5th at the same time.
Yeah. Man. But there are already 2 Ultralisks on the way. This is actually a very interesting decision by HayprO. He does like to play this way. I mean, this is how he likes to play TVZ. He loves getting his Ultralisk very, very quickly, but it always is a bit surprising. His upgrades are coming so quickly here that he's going to have a strong army. So it could work.
And unlike last game where Sheth was on even upgrades with MorroW, HayprO is an upgrade ahead of MorroW right now.
Yeah.
So if HayprO hits his timings as opposed to MorroW hitting his, he'll do a lot of damage to MorroW, and MorroW's not going to be able to hold these outside bases like he was able to last game.
Certainly could. Oh, hitting Hellion. Being seen back there.
I don't think either one has noticed really yet.
I don't think so either.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, now he knows. Oh well.
I don't like how MorroW is he's sitting back so much. I would like to see him drop somewhere at this point, because while he is macroing really well, HayprO's on equal bases with him, so it's not like he's ahead of the game now and can just afford to sit back. This game, MorroW has to make something happen at this point because he's falling behind HayprO.
Yeah, I mean, HayprO is in one of those situations where Ultralisks actually work really well, and I love that he's adding on the Spire as well. He's going to go ahead and push with Ultras, get MorroW making Marauders, things like that. In fact, he's already making Marauders, and then he's going to switch really quickly into Broodlords, and that may be something that MorroW's not prepared for. I mean, let's be honest, MorroW barely handled the Broodlords last time.
Yeah.
He had to switch a lot of Starports over, start making a lot of Vikings, and play really, really carefully for a couple minutes.
Yeah, if he hadn't had those 6 Vikings at a time when he did, then he would have been in a lot of trouble.
And this is going to need to be saved here for MorroW. He's coming into some Marines and Medevacs now.
So he saw the drop of the Overlord, he's not reacting, and there's a double drop going to the main at the same time that there's a single drop going to the 4th. A lot of Spine Crawlers ready, Queens see it. Very well defended by HayprO, but that still could do a lot of damage.
Oh, and the Medevac does go down. This drop not doing a whole lot, but this drop could kill some Spines and potentially a lot more.
I think he should just go for the hatchery at this point.
Yeah, he is going to go for it. His Marines are 2-2 right now, and with Stim, they should be able to do a lot of damage.
Didn't react fast enough.
Look, there's a bunch of units right here he could be using.
No. He finally sees it, but it might be too...
Man. 36 hit points left on this hatchery, man. MorroW could just blow lightly on it. It would fall over at this point. HayprO's going to need to be very careful to defend that one a little bit later on. That is a lot of Banelings. 18 in the making. We've already got 18 out on the field. It's going to be a lot of explosive action.
Looks like HayprO is gearing up to try to take down this, just get a push in to take down that planetary.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be maybe a little bit difficult. He did pull back some of MorroW's units right now, and that's a signal to go. MorroW a little bit out of position. The tanks out on their own, and HayprO in a great spot right now to take down this army.
Oh man, that is a lot of Ultralisks. Oh, great bundles on the Marines! He kills so many with the Baneling.
Oh, the planetary
goes down.
And HayprO, wow, just absolutely destroying MorroW right now.
That was a perfect engage, and he's maxed again at 200 supply already.
Well, he just prepared it so well, man. I mean, he got the army to pull back. He got all the Marines to pull back with those Zerglings at just the right time.
And it doesn't even matter what happens with the rest of the attack. He just traded 100 food for almost none.
Look at that.
Killed a base off.
Corruptors and more Infestors on the way as well. Oh, man, I would not want to be an SCV at that mineral line. The Ultra finally taken down. Yeah,
so now he's just switching into Infestor Broodlord, just like that.
Look at this. MorroW making 3 Marauders.
Marauders,
That's not going to help him against the Broodlords very much, is it?
Beautiful play by HayprO. It's like, throw the army away. I traded well enough. Now I'm going to make Broodlords. You're not ready for it. And this could be the Doom push right here because MorroW,
certainly could be.
He's locked back on 3 bases now. and he does not have the economy to keep up with the tech switches.
Well, the funny thing is that this is a fairly common tech switch, actually, that Halo. I've been watching E3. That HayprO is doing here. I mean, it's a very good one. He's executing it absolutely perfectly. But it is something that, as a Terran player, a lot of them would see coming. So maybe we are seeing a little bit of a weakness from MorroW, having a little bit less experience from the Terran perspective as from the Zerg perspective. But either way, I mean, HayprO, you got to give him credit for just putting himself in an amazingly good situation in this game right now.
Yeah, and look at him. He's taking a 6th and 7
that's going to get
bases
fungal,
well.
isn't it?
Oh,
nice
man.
fungal. The medevac's getting low. Marauders getting dropped off, but they're just going to do a little bit of damage and then die.
Got one infestor at least from that.
Yep, that does help.
But yeah, MorroW, he needs to be getting anti-air right now, and he's still not for some reason. I'm
I don't think he knows about the Broodlords.
I'm amazed that he doesn't know about it yet.
Well,
he hasn't seen it, but
has he seen the Greater Spire? That's my question here. Where did that get built?
I do not think he has.
No, he has not seen. He hasn't seen any of the.
But you would think, like you said, you know, this is the natural tech switch for Zerg late game.
It generally is. He's still making Marauders. He has no idea that he is about to lose this game.
He's so angry.
Yeah.
Oh, there he finally scans and he sees them,
like,
and now he's building
3
Thors
Vikings.
and Vikings.
Yeah.
It might be too late,
Maybe
though,
a little bit
because
too
that's
late.
already 8 Broodlords there.
Yep, and the siege tanks will have to
he's got to
unsiege.
get back now. He's going to have to throw this base away, I think. There's no way he can defend this.
Here we go. Signal again for HayprO to move in. He needs to be a little bit careful
HayprO
here.
being really smart, though. He faked the Lings to get him to re-siege, siege up again, get a few tanks.
He could use some Corruptors. That's the only place his army is a little bit weak at this point, is that he doesn't have a lot of protection for this Broodlords. He
needs to use these fast. He needs to use these fast before the Vikings get there.
And the Vikings are here. The time may be over.
Right,
he's going to need to
just gonna
fungal
go,
them.
and here he goes. He's just going for it.
And the Banelings chasing in all the Marines and the Marauders, pulling back at just the right moment after the tanks are dead.
Oh, the planetary is going to go down, though.
Yes, it will. And wow, MorroW just does not appear to be able to handle this. He's still got a good amount of units here. Oh, a little bit of a misengagement by HayprO, losing a lot of Zerglings unnecessarily. He might have to pull back, making some more Corruptors now. MorroW, though, just continuously losing this base. He's trying to take another one up at the top of the map, but that's not going to last long.
Nope, and even lifting off would probably not help him much. Yeah, MorroW is playing beautifully now, making all those Lings back, making the Corruptors back, making the Infestors back. And then, if and when MorroW does finally get the critical Viking mass, he'll say, all right, I'm just going to go back to Ultralisk again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think really MorroW is going to need Ghosts eventually, because he can't deal with all the Fungals and the Broodlords and the tech switches back and forth.
Yeah, he really could use some Ghosts already. I mean, EMP obviously is good, but I think in this situation, Nukes would just be awesome. Nuke is still relatively underused when it comes to Terran players. Very few players really know how to do it. MMA is a great example of a Terran player that knows how to use
very well
nukes. Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. Nukes are only 100 minerals, 100 gas. How much are Marauders? You know, they're 150, 25. That's almost as much as a nuke, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's no reason for Terran players who go Ghost later in the game not to at least get 1 or 2 nukes. You know,
that's a good little run by that MorroW's doing on HayprO's 5th base as well right now.
Yep.
With the Marauders, he's probably not going to get it, but he'll be able to get it next time.
Yeah, he could, but remember what happened to this space? Yeah, it gained more hit points. That's what happens. So sometimes you're just not able to get in there and finish a job. Speaking of finishing the job, it looks like HayprO wants to try his hand at it.
Ooh, he has more Corruptors than Vikings.
Yes, he does. Here he comes right now. Banelings coming into everything. There's not very many tanks. Fungal growth's going down on some of the units. The tank's getting fungal as well. Oh, man.
Perfect engaging again from HayprO. This is unbelievable.
Baneling's doing a lot of good work right there. And yeah, this repair is going to keep the orbital commander alive a little bit longer, but just not enough Vikings from MorroW to do anything about the Broodlords. I think HayprO is on the verge of winning this game.
Yeah, and with HayprO looking this strong, it is going to be really hard for anyone to beat him like this. I mean, he has played, you know, as perfect a TVZ as MorroW played last game. HayprO has played a ZVT, you know, from the midway point on. He has played beautifully in this game.
Yeah, really looking good.
Strategy late game.
Yeah, a lot of Victory Zerglings coming in. Oh, speaking of Victory units, Victory Banelings morphing in right now. 20 more of them, in fact. MorroW still with good tank positioning even to the very end. but it's just all going downhill from here. Another scan shows 5 more morphing Broodlords for HayprO. HayprO getting a little bit sloppy with his units here, but he can afford to be. He's got plenty of bases.
And now that the Banelings are done, I think he'll get some Zerglings, and then when those Broodlords finish, he'll just roll in. Man, MorroW is being relentless replacing that base, though.
Yeah, he has to, man. I mean, he has to have this base, but that's going to be a GG for MorroW. And HayprO taking down MorroW in short order. And Liquid wins another game, taking them up to 4-1 right now, putting them 1 win away from taking the match.